Hello! Today I'm going to show you another variation of my shawl with hearts. As with the other shawls, I'm using one of my bobble cotton extras. Extra because here the yarn is plied or twisted, which means we don't have the usual 4 strands next to each other like we're used to from the other bobbles with that length. Here the yarn is twisted just like regular wool. Also, you won't have any knots at the color change because the change of color is also twisted into this yarn. Next, I need a crochet hook. I'm using a hook from my Addict Click needle case by Woolly Hugs. We start our shawl at the bottom tip. I'm going to put the number of the current row up here for you to see, so you don't get lost in case you have to rewind this video. Let's get started. Begin with a loop and then chain 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I chain 2 additional stitches for the height and then into the 4th up to the 1st chain stitch I work 1 double crochet each. One, 2, 3, 4. And that was already my first row. Next is row number 2. Here I now chain 3 as the base for the next row and 2 for the height. Then work 1 double crochet into the 3rd chain stitch of the base one into the 2nd and 1 into the 1st. And then I turn this first group of 4 double crochets and work 1 more double crochet into the 1st stitch of that group I just turned. So that you then have another group of 4 double crochets here. Then chain 2 and work 1 double crochet into the last stitch of the row. And because I also need a group of 4 double crochets on this side, and so far only have 1, I now have to add 3 double crochets at the end. For that, I yarn over, insert into the 4th stitch, pull the yarn through, then pull the yarn through that first loop again to build an additional chain stitch. Then get the yarn once more and work the double crochet as usual. Yarn over, I insert into this first additional chain stitch we did before, pull the yarn through, and then work the additional chain stitch for the following double crochet. Then I just finish the double crochet. One more time, insert, pull through, chain 1, and finish the double crochet. And as you can see, I now have a group of 4 double crochets left and right. Here I again need 3 chain stitches as the base for the 4th row and 2 for the height. And then into the third, second and first chain stitch I work 1 double crochet each. Throughout the whole shawl you're gonna start your rows this same way. Now I turn my work and work the 4th double crochet into the first of this previous group of 4. That's how it looks so far. Chain 2, and then I want another group of 4 here in the middle. So into the last of this group I work 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochets around the chain, and 1 more into the first stitch of the following group. That was the middle group. Then chain 2, 1 double crochet into the last stitch of the group, and to get another group of 4 double crochets I again have to add 3 double crochets here at the end, with the additional chain stitches. That is what your third row looks like. Next is row number 4. Chain 3 as the base and 2 for the height. 1 double crochet each into the third, second and first of the base, and 1 more into the first stitch of the group. Chain 2, 1 double crochet into the last stitch of the group, two double crochets around the chain, and 1 more into the first stitch of the following group. Now we chain 5 because we are in the middle of the shawl, and then work 1 double crochet into the last stitch of this group here. Two double crochets around the following chain, one into the first stitch of the group, chain another 2, 1 double crochet into the last stitch of the group, and at the end we add our usual 3 double crochets. Don't forget the additional chain stitch. 1, 2, 3. That was row 4, and we continue with the 5th row. Chain 3 for the base and 2 for the height. 1 double crochet each into the first 3 chain stitches, Then turn your work and work the fourth and last double crochet into the first stitch of the group. Then chain 2, 1 double crochet into the fourth stitch of the group, two double crochets around the following chain, and 1 into the first stitch of the next group. As you can see, at the edge you always have 2 groups of 4 double crochets each and 2 chain stitches in between. That's the difference to my other shawls of this series. There I only have 1 group of 4 at the edge. Okay, now I chain 4, then into the middle chain stitch, so the third of this chain, I work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then chain another 4 stitches and work the first double crochet of the following group into the first of the group of the previous row. Then 2 double crochets around the chain, and 1 more into the first stitch of the group. Chain 2, 1 double crochet into the fourth stitch of the group, and then we add 3 double crochets, so that on the left side too we end with a group of 4 double crochets, 2 chain stitches and another group of 4 double crochets. And that was row 5. Next, we start with row 6. As always, we start with 3 chain stitches as the base and 2 for the height. 3 double crochets into the 3 chain stitches of the base, one double crochet into the first stitch of the group, chain 2, a double crochet into the fourth stitch, 2 around the chain, and 1 more double crochet into the first stitch of the following group. And now we again have our 2 groups of 4 double crochets here at the beginning. Chain 4, and into the first of these 3 double crochets here, I also work 3 double crochets. Then 1 double crochet into the middle one, and another 3 double crochets into the third. Chain 4, and then we reach our 2 groups at the edge again. 1 double crochet into the last stitch of the group, two around the chain, one into the first stitch of the group, then chain 2, 1 double crochet into the last stitch, and after that we again add 3 double crochets. Row 6 is finished and we can continue with row 7. We start with 3 chain stitches as the base and 2 for the height. 3 double crochets into the 3 chain stitches of the base, 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet into the first stitch of the group, chain 2, a double crochet into the 4th stitch, 2 around the chain, and 1 more double crochet into the first stitch of the following group. Chain 4, then into the first stitch of this heart I work 2 double crochets. One double crochet into the second stitch, 2 into the third, then into the middle one a half double crochet. For that I yarn over, then insert and pull the yarn through, and then pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Then 2 double crochets into the following stitch, one double crochet into the next, and 2 into the last one. And that's how we slowly build the heart row after row. After that, we again chain 4, work 1 double crochet into the 4th stitch of the group, then 2 around the chain, one more double crochet into the last stitch of the group, chain 2, and 1 double crochet into the last stitch before we again add 3 double crochets at the end. And with that, we finished row number 7. How to continue in row 8 is what I'm going to show you in the second part of this tutorial.